Welcome to another video by math115.com. My name is Ashish Rastogi, and today I'm going to be going over discrete compounding interest. So let's go right into it. We'll start off with the formulas. This is the future value formula, so if you use this formula, it will calculate what the value of your money will be in the future. This is your effective annual yield. This number is in percentage terms, so what this will calculate is the amount of yield you're earning, the amount of percent gain you're earning per year. And this is your interest rate formula. It solves for your interest rate, R, if you're given your yield and the amount of compounding intervals. So there's a lot of little letters in here. It's not a lot of numbers, right? So let's explain what all these letters mean. F is future value, P is present value, R is the interest rate. Now this is an annual interest rate. So if they tell you that they're going to give you 5% interest over 6 months, that's actually 10% annual interest, right? So you have to always make sure that your interest rate's annual. Your time is always in years, so T is for time, always in years. So if you have a decimal, that decimal is representing a portion of a year. N is the number of compounding times in 1 year. So if they say it's compounded daily, you're looking at 365 days, so 365 would be your N. Weekly, 52. Other tricks that they could use would be semi-annually, which means 2. They could say quarterly, which is 4. They could say biannually, which means that happens once every 2 years. That means it's 0.5 for N. So Y is effective annual yield. We went over that, so that's the exact percentage. Remember, this is in percentage terms, this is in percentage terms, this is in years. So let's go ahead and get into a really difficult problem. So let's say you have $2,000 today, and you want to know how long it will take up into years and days, how long it will take $2,000 to grow to $3,000 if you have an interest rate of 5%. So with a 5% interest rate, and you know that you're starting with $2,000 and needs to grow to $3,000. So this is going to be using this formula, because what you're looking for is you're looking to solve T, time, and this formula here has that T, time. So that's why we need to use that formula. So using that formula, we know that our future value is $3,000, so we'll put that in for F, is equal to present value $2,000. Then we continue with the formula, parentheses 1 plus R. We said our interest rate was 5%, so you have to convert that to a decimal, so that's 5%. And then your N was compounded, what did they say? Compounded daily, right? Compounded daily, correct. So it's going to be 365 days. Raised to, and then N again is 365 up here, times the T that we need to solve for. So we have to figure out how we're going to get this T down here and how to figure that out. So first let's do some algebra. We're going to divide both sides by the 2,000. And that'll cancel these two out, but then we'll have this. So if you do 3,000 divided by 2,000 on your calculator, you'll get 1.5 is equal to, and then now you just fill in the rest. Okay? So now we have to deal with this guy. We have to figure out how we're going to mess around with this in order to isolate the T. Well, we know that the T is in the exponent. So if you remember your log rules will allow you to deal with the situation where you have the variable in the exponent. So in this case, we have to take the natural log of both sides. So we'll do the ln, open parentheses 1.5. Now we're going to do the ln of this side as well. ln of all of this. So it's going to be 1 plus 0.05365. Now what this ln allowed us to do, the reason why we did this, is now it allows us to bring this down in front, so right here. So now we can do times 365t. So that's the difference. By doing this, we're allowed to bring this down and move it here. So now it's being multiplied rather than raised. So now all we need to do is divide by this whole mess right here to isolate the t. So what you should get is if you divide by everything here except for the t, then this will get divided. So you'll have ln of 1.5, all divided by, I'm going to go ahead and move the 365 in front. So 365 times ln 1 plus 0.05365, and all of that is equal to t. So all I did there was I divided by everything on this side except for the t. So this is everything on this side except for the t. So now what you do is you plug this into your calculator. So I'm going to go ahead, this is how you would write it if you're doing it by hand, but I'm going to go ahead and throw in the parentheses where you need them so that you can plug it into your calculator. So if you're plugging into your calculator, you put a parentheses right here, then you put another parentheses here. So when you put in the ln, there should be 2 parentheses at the end. Then they're going to do another parentheses right here. And you can go ahead and type all this in, and then another parentheses right here. But in here, you also have to do another parentheses right here, and another one right here. So make sure if you put in your parentheses exactly like how I have them here, and you put it into your calculator exactly like this, you should be fine. If you didn't want to do that, and you didn't want to take that risk, you could also just calculate each of these, and you would get 0.0, that'll be 0.405465. There we go. That'll be your numerator. And then this 365 times, and then what you should get in this portion right here is 137. And then if you did this, your end result for t should be 8.109858. So this is your answer in years, right? It says 8 years and some remainder. But they asked for the answer in years and nearest day. So what you should do is you need to take this number right here, just the decimal portion, the 0.109858. This is the remainder that we have, right? We need to convert this remainder, which is currently in years, it's saying 0.1 years, we need to convert this to days. So what we'll do is we'll multiply it by, multiply it by 365. So if you take this and you multiply it by 365, you should get about 40. And what'll happen is that this now represents days because you multiplied it by days. So the end answer is 8 years and 40 days. So 8 years, 40 days. And that's how you solve for t.